RA number 8550, the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998, as amended by RA 10654 on 2015. The law provides for the development and conservation of the fisheries and aquatic resources, and to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Some principles behind the law are: 1. The policy of the state to achieve food security by management and conservation of fishery resources. 2. To limit access of aquatic resources to Filipino citizen. 3. Pursuant to international commitment to protect threatened marine resources. 4. To provide support and protection to fishery sector, especially the fisher folk. RA number 8552 applies to all types of aquatic and fishery resources, like in fish ponds, lakes, rivers, and all lands devoted to aquaculture or business and activities relating to fishery, whether inland, coastal or offshore, as long as the Philippine has sovereignty and jurisdiction. Hence, this include Philippine flag fishing vessel on high seas, and foreign fishing vessel inside the Philippine waters of jurisdiction, like territorial sea, contiguous zone, and EEZ.
The DA, or Department of Agriculture, is the government agency responsible for promotion of agricultural development. DA's powers and functions provides integrated services to farmers, fishermen, and other food producers. They promulgate and enforce all laws for agricultural and fishery resources. They conduct, coordinate, and disseminate research studies and provide mechanism for policy-making, planning, and program formulation. The DA shall also issue licenses and permits for the conduct of fishery activities subject to the limits of the MSY or the maximum sustainable yield through catch ceiling limitations and establishment of closed seasons. BFAR, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, is a government agency responsible for the development, improvement, management, and conservation of the country's fisheries and aquatic resources. It was reconstituted as a line bureau by virtue of RA number 8550, or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. As a line bureau, the BFAR is headed by a director and assisted by 2 assistant directors, who shall supervise the administrative and technical services of the Bureau respectively. It shall establish regional, provincial, and municipal offices as may be appropriate and necessary to carry out effectively and efficiently the provisions of the Fisheries Code. Municipal Fisheries. The municipal or city government shall have jurisdiction over municipal waters as defined in this code. The municipal or city government, in consultation with the pharmacy, shall be responsible for the management, conservation, development, protection, utilization, and disposition of all fish and fishery aquatic resources within the respective municipal waters. The municipal or city government may, in consultation with the pharmacy, enact appropriate ordinances for this purpose and in accordance with the National Fisheries Policy. The ordinances enacted by the municipality and a component city shall be reviewed pursuant to the Republic Act No. 7160 by the Sanggunian of the province, which has jurisdiction over the same.
Commercial fisheries. No person shall operate a commercial fishing vessel, pearl fishing vessel, or fishing vessel for scientific research or educational purposes, or engage in any fishery activity, or seek employment as a fish worker or pearl diver without first securing a license from the Department of Agriculture. Who are eligible for commercial fishing vessel license? Filipino citizens, partnerships or associations, cooperatives or corporations duly registered in the Philippines, at least 60% of the capital stock of which is owned by Filipino citizens. Is license transferable? No person to whom a license has been issued shall sell, transfer, or assign, directly or indirectly, his stock or interest therein to any person not qualified to hold a license. Any such transfer, sale, or assignments shall be null and void and shall not be registered in the books of association, cooperative, or corporation. How about Philippine commercial fishing fleet, fishing in international waters? Fishing vessels of Philippine registry may operate in international waters or waters of other countries, which allow such fishing operations, but they should comply with the safety, manning, and other requirements of the Philippine Coast Guard, maritime industry, and other agencies concerned. Aquaculture. Public lands for fishery purposes. Public lands such as tidal swamps, mangroves, marshes, foreshore lands, and ponds suitable for fishery operations shall not be disposed or alienated, but fish pond lease agreements may be issued for public lands that may be declared available for fish pond development to qualified fisher folk, cooperatives, or associations. Fishery resource. Department of Agriculture designates area or areas in the Philippine waters beyond 15 kilometers from the shoreline as fishery reservation for the exclusive use of the government or any of its political subdivisions, agencies, or instrumentalities for propagation, educational research, and scientific purposes. Fish refuge and sanctuaries. Department of Agriculture may establish fish refuge and sanctuaries to be administered in a manner prescribed by the BFAR and set aside areas for the cultivation of mangroves to strengthen the habitat and the spawning grounds of fish. No commercial fishing shall be allowed within these areas.
The following acts are prohibited and penalized under the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1990. Unauthorized fishing and unauthorized fishing activities are offenses committed by any person who capture or gather or to cause the capture or gathering, as well as to exploit, occupy, produce, breed, or culture fish, fry, or fingerlings of any fishery species or fishery products without license or permit from the department or LGU concerned. For unregulated fishing and poaching in Philippine waters, any person engaged in unregulated fishing in waters within and beyond national jurisdiction is unlawful. Moreover, any foreign person, corporation, or entity who fish or operate any fishing vessel in the Philippine waters is also unlawful. Also, the use of explosives, noxious or poisonous substance, and electricity is also prohibited. Exceptions: if it is for research, educational, or scientific purposes. Second is if it is to eradicate predators and pests in fish ponds, provided it does not cause environmental harm to neighboring waters and grounds. The use of fish nets with mesh smaller than 3 centimeters is also prohibited. For the ban on Muruami, it shall be unlawful for any person, natural or juridical, to fish with gear method that destroy coral reefs, seagrass beds, and other fishery marine life habitat as may be determined by the department. It shall likewise be unlawful for any person or corporation to gather, sell, or export white sand, silica, pebbles, and other substances which make up any marine habitat. Next is the conversion of mangrove forests to fish ponds or any other purpose. For this offense to exist, 3 elements must concur. The site of the fish pond is a mangrove forest. Second, the mangrove area was converted into fish pond. And third, the appellant shall make the conversion. Other prohibitions and violations are enumerated under sections 94 to 128 of RA number 10654.
Now, the last topic is the administrative adjudication. Department shall organize and designate the composition of the adjudication committee, wherein shall promulgate rules and regulations for the conduct of administrative adjudication and the disposition of confiscated catch, gears, equipment, and other paraphernalia. Power to issue cease and desist orders. Department, subject to the requirements of an administrative due process, also has the power to issue cease and desist orders and to summarily evict without the necessity of judicial order. Issue notice of violation. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or the BFAR, may issue notice of violation and order the confiscation of any fish, fishery species, or aquatic resources illegally caught and disposed in accordance with law. The following are additional sanctions to the administrative penalties imposed for serious violations. In a citizen suit, any citizen may file an appropriate civil, criminal, or administrative action in the proper courts bodies against any of these following. A legal action filed to harass, vex, exert undue pressure, or stifle an illegal recourse that any person, institution, or the government has taken or may take in the enforcement of this code shall be treated as a strategic lawsuit against public participation. In the executive control, the President may exercise such power and authority as that of the Secretary, since he has the control of all executive department, bureaus, and offices, and the enactment of ordinances by LGUs. Now, the use of the power, inter alia, to enact ordinances to enhance the right of the people to a balanced ecology.
I will always remember the day you kissed my lips, light as a feather.